I remember I would have moments where I'd just be walking around school.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just be walking from one class to the other, and I would think of the movie. It would just like pop into my head in a really profound way, like that boring, mundane, awkward kid with my backpack on, walking from one place to another. And I would just go, like, it would just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I would just remember the movie. It gets into your skin in a really incredible way.
Mish and Zach.
I watched some fun things this week, but I want to talk specifically about Elephant, a movie I didn't even know existed, but is apparently quite popular. It is a Gus Van Sant movie made in 2003, set at a high school, pretty much over the course of one singular day, where, and I think shouldn't give away the end, should I?
Did you know that was coming when I ruined it for you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I knew it was coming when they rocked up.
Yeah.
about the halfway mark.
Look, I always knew what it was about. I think you can spoil it. If you are wanting to watch it, it's a very cool film. It's not cool. It's a very powerful film. Spoiler warning. Go watch Elephant. Spoiler warning. All right, there you go.
Yeah, big spoiler warning. It's set in a high school over the course of a day where a school shooting happens.
Oh, God.
Oh, heavy.
Very
Heavy.
Yeah, kind of based on the whole Columbine shooting, and very, very heavy, very, very heavy. So not to take away from that, but on the flip side of it is, I don't think I've seen a movie where high schoolers are captured so well for their awkwardness and just the kind of like how woeful teenagers can be and just pathetic. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, and me included when I was a teenager, but I think it just captures the awkwardness of that 14 to 17-year-old age range.
I think it's an incredible
well.
film. I saw it when I was maybe 13. I think my sister, who was working at a video shop at the time, got a like preview DVD of it, and I remember watching it. I remember I think my sister and maybe one of her friends was watching it, and they like got bored. They didn't love it, and I remember just being like, it's a movie I've been meaning to rewatch for 20 plus years, right? But it has stuck with me more than any, like it has stayed in my brain. It's an incredibly powerful film, and it's incredibly powerful in its simplicity.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's an experimental film, I would say.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that
and it's cut a lot of the, I believe, I am making up a number here, but something along the lines of 85% of the cast is just they're not actors.
Yeah, almost. Yeah,
yeah.
And I think a lot of them, like, it was their first role,
yeah,
even if they are now. Also, it's like that those long takes. It's constructed out of very long sort of tracking shot takes, and obviously there'd been long takes before that. I think it's something that has seeped through filmmaking. A lot of filmmakers have used it as a reference since it came out. Even he has. Like, I remember. Have you ever seen Milk?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a bit which I thought was really powerful because he did a whole trilogy of films like this. But like that way it just tracks and follows people. Milk has a moment when Milk is assassinated that is shot very similarly to that, like when it follows the assassin through, and it's like, and I think there's just something really incredible about, like, here's a filmmaker that will go and make really experimental films, and then when he makes something slightly more accessible, he takes from the toolkit he's developed, like he experiments for a whole movie and then he'll apply that for one scene. That's why I love Gus Van Sant as a filmmaker.
Yeah, I think I just excuse me, I didn't think it was boring. I can see why people would, because some of those shots take forever and it feels like nothing is happening.
And I think if you're 14, 15...
Oh, yeah.
You know, maybe more.
But as an adult watching, because there's one scene where they just follow this guy who's walking through to find his girlfriend on the other end of the school. And he's just walking, everything's calm, nothing's happened yet. And it's honestly about a 7-minute shot of him just walking through the school. And again, not much spectacular is happening, but it was just such a little, like, time capsule moment of a high school, like, of just being a random kid at this random school of hundreds of kids. You're essentially a number, which is a horrible thing, but you all are when you're in high school. Like, and just walking through, it was crazy. It was just very cool.
Something that's very powerful about that is that's a much more. I'm sorry to get serious, but it's like that's a much more. Tom just like before this was like, you guys are very serious.
You guys aren't funny that much.
Which is not a criticism.
No, but I think just something I wanted to say, because it is a film that, like I said, has stuck with me. There's something about the mundanity of it all.
Yeah.
Like it makes the mundane beautiful, and that like so much of there's something to when something so shocking like a school shooting happens, particularly when it happened less often. You want to build narratives. I'm getting a bit lanky here, but it's like you want to build narratives around that, and you want to create these stories and ideas. You want to search for reason as to why the kids did it.
Yeah.
And you also want to like sort of lionize the children, the victims of it. And I think there's just something very powerful about a film that just sort of says, no, before that moment happened, they were just walking from class to class. They were just going to the library. They were just living their lives in a very mundane way. And I just sort of wanted to say one other thing, which was because I watched it when I was at school, I remember I would have moments where I'd just be walking around school. I'd just be walking from one class to the other, and I would think of the movie. It would just like pop into my head in a really profound way, like that boring, mundane, awkward kid with my backpack on, walking from one place to another. And I would just go, like, it would just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, I would just remember the movie. It gets into your skin in a really incredible way.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
great
it's-
choice.
Thank you. And
Sorry I ruined it for you.
Oh no, yeah, no, there was that. But it's kind of set out in little chapters that are all titled a different name of a different person at that school. And you want so badly, it's kind of touching on what you were just saying before, you want so badly to get a really good understanding of who that person is, because they're either going to be, they're a part of this situation, and you want to know their backstory, and you want to know how they're going to get out of this. And it often isn't that at all. It's just them walking from one class to another, or, you know, going to the library and checking out a book and stuff. And you get such little information about these people, but you just become so invested in them because, again, I haven't seen a film that kind of captures being a teenager quite like this film. I'm not saying it's the best at it, but it's up there. But it's the way they capture the simplicity of being that age.
There's a great
Yeah.
notion, I think. I haven't seen The Hours in a long time, but it's interesting.
Fucking
The Hours
love
came
that
out at
movie.
a similar time, and it's based on Mrs. Dalloway, which
Oh, wait, wrong movie. I was thinking of The Others.
The Others is great too. Same time, same actor,
Yeah.
but The Hours is great. And I think there's something really interesting because I think like the idea of The Hours is that it's a film that is ostensibly talking about the idea that we live it. We record lives and we make narratives of people's lives over years, but actually people live their lives in the hours. That's kind of the crux of the film in a way. That the life we live is in those mundane moments from, you know, hour to hour, day to day, like just the small interactions. And it's funny because The Hours kind of captures that, but I think this film captures it so much more powerfully, that the life that's lost is not this grand thing. It's just these small, very fucked up film,
Fucked up.
but powerful.